Well, hello and welcome back to episode 4 of Champion's Journey. The great author J.R.R. Tolkien wrote that our lives are defined by the journeys we undertake to prove ourselves. Journeys of courage, fellowship, and friendship. Our family's 10-year quest to establish a meaningful legacy in soapbox derby is marked by a similar series of these journeys. Journeys that, for us, each required sacrifice, challenge, and ultimately led to rewards. Come with us today. We're going to take you on an epic 5,000-mile journey that we took across the continental United States to race in the inaugural USDR Invitational. We're going to share with you all the excitement of that race. It had one of the strongest fields that's been put together in a decade, and along the way we're going to share a lot of the drama and excitement that we have on a typical one of these road trips to a big derby race. This championship was very unique, being an invitational format as opposed to the typical qualification type of events that we race in normally. In that respect, it's got a lot of parallels with the Masters Golf Invitational in professional golf. There was a committee that was put together that took a look at race resumes of the top racers from around the country for the last several years, and they picked a group of about 60 to invite to the Invitational here. And despite being held over Thanksgiving weekend, I'm told the response rate was about 90% positive, so we ended up with over 50 of the finest racers in the United States getting together for this event, so it was a really strong field. For us, traveling to this event was logistically very challenging. We were coming from the Pacific Northwest. That meant 4 days each way to get our cars back there. We put them in our trailer, Ronan's 2 cars in back and my niece's stock on the front. Winter weather. Because it was going to be a long trip, Allison and I drove the cars out. The kids and my brother-in-law flew out to Atlanta where we met them. We went up to the race in Chattanooga, went to the race, and then I flew back with the kids, and Allison and my brother-in-law Alan drove the cars back home. So that allowed us to do the racing with only Alan and I missing a week of work each, and the kids didn't miss any school. So a lot of logistics here. Crazy? Perhaps, but that's what top-level derby inspires you to. Seriously, part of becoming a champion is being willing to make the sacrifices to put yourself in a position to do great things. It means doing the things others are unwilling to do. And in this case, the logistics required for this race were a perfect example of the types of sacrifices you make if you want to really establish yourself as a champion in anything. So come on along, we'll share it with you here. Hey, if you like what you're seeing here, please hit subscribe, ring the bell to be notified of new videos, give us a thumbs up, and share with your friends. All right, well, we're out here in the shop. I promised here on Champion's Journey to share with you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly of soapbox derby, and the ugly definitely is the shape of my shop right now. It's the night before we leave for Chattanooga. Been working on the cars this week. Of course, there's always more to do than you have time for, and I managed to let things come down to the wire, so it's just a total disaster in here. But the cars we're getting them put together. It's probably going to be a late night. We roll out of town to drive cross country tomorrow morning, and long drive. Hopefully the winter weather will cooperate, but it's going to be a really awesome race, so look forward to seeing you guys there. Well, we're ready to hit the road, head to Chattanooga. Are you excited about the 4-day drive, sweetie?
No. Sounds like a long drive.
This is the kind of crazy things that Derby gets you to do. It gets in your blood, and then you basically need to be committed to the insane asylum. So,
All right.
Derby.
Derby for life.
Derby for life.
All right, well, one of the cool things we get to do on these Derby trips is go on special family side trips, and today we're at a very special place, the Barber Motorsports Museum in Birmingham, Alabama, and I get to see firsthand the handiwork of one of my heroes, John Britton of New Zealand. John and a small group of his co-workers put together in a home workshop the V1000 motorcycle you see here. They built 10 like this and took on the biggest factory race teams from around the world in some of the greatest races like the Isle of Man TT and the Battle of the Twins of Daytona, and just did wonderful things in the early 90s. So if you want an example of a champion mindset and the tools and techniques of a champion, go look up the John Britton biography, read it, or look at some of the bios that they have on YouTube. The guy's a real hero of mine. So real treat to be able to see this here today. All right, well, day before the official racing starts, they're getting the track set up and we're getting our trailer unpacked. You can see we got the round bottom out. Flat bottom Masters is still up on top there, and brother-in-law David's kind of cleaning up Bella's car, which rode on the front of the trailer the whole way, so it got a little wet even though we had it wrapped in plastic. Getting some rust off there. We're going to go through all the basics on the cars here and make sure they made the trip okay and check all of the standard settings and get the weights back in and get ready. Tomorrow will be the first day of racing. It'll be round bottom racing and practice runs and inspections on the other cars, and then the next day will be the remainder of the races. All right, well, we're out here in Charleston. We made it after a whole bunch of drama with the airlines and coming through customs flying out of Canada and breaking a leaf spring driving out here with the trailer, but it's all good. We're here a day early checking out the track for the first time. David, what do you think of the track?
Looking good so far. Beautiful spot.
Yeah, looks like a driver's track, huh?
Yep, sure does.
It's anything but straight, so we're rolling a ball and putting levels on the track and trying to figure out how we're going to set these cars up and drive the lines. But glad to be here in Chattanooga. Did I say Charleston before?
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay, well, we're here at the race and we were doing some practicing and had a little incident here thanks to a screw up on the part of Bella's pit crew. She earned a new nickname here, the Flying Bell, from our friend Dakota, who coined that term. And you want to tell us what happened, Bella?
Yeah. I was going down the parking lot and it wouldn't stop because it felt hard, like a block of wood.
Your brake was stuck, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
And I didn't put it in the right spot.
Yeah. And then I had to steer between the two trailers and I caught air on a little hill over there. And then
Scored a goal.
Scored a goal
Into a hockey or a soccer net.
So there's a nice soft stop in the soccer net, huh?
Yeah.
Well, not quite, but you weathered it well, and we're getting your car fixed up, and now you got a story to tell. And the important thing is you're all okay, right, Bella?
Yeah.
The car did its job. All right, well, here we are, first morning of racing at the Invitational. We arrived yesterday and got the cars set up, and you can see that people are just starting to arrive. They're getting the scale set up, and this is the track up here. It's a nice fall day here in Chattanooga. Here's our little race setup and our neighbors, the Strand families from Connecticut, illustrious racing careers with their daughters there. Getting the cars all polished and ready to go. rolling out here. Phase 1 of our fourth heat of the day against a tough local racer.
The winning lane is 2 with a time of 0.075 seconds.
Rolling out on the final against Gentle Wolf here. Great driver from Ohio. They're both driving good lines there. Seeing what they can do.
The winning lane is 2.
All right, you guys ready for your practice run? Yeah. All right, this is my niece Bella going on her last practice run of the day.
Love you. Have fun, baby.
Getting down low in that car, ready for action tomorrow.
Ready.
Go get him, girl. Say hi. Morning of the big race, y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, we're here and we're getting all the scaling, weighing in of the final weigh-ins of the cars early here in the morning, about 7:30 a.m. We're gonna tee them all up here. I think we got somewhere around 70 cars. And track's up top there, and pan down here and look at the trailers from all over the place, all across, especially the eastern U.S. We've got about every state represented. Quite an affair here.
So thank you. We want to be fast today. We've got rain coming about 3 or 4 o'clock, so everybody work together. We're all experienced. Just be efficient. Be ready to race because Pam and I get out the track at the bottom, drove wherever all that. Speed it up. Special thanks, Paul Gale. Is he up here? Okay. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Paul. So he's down there under.
Well, we're off and racing here at the Invitational. Ronan actually pulled the first heat of the day.
Up next, we have Masters
Won his first
Heat 9.
phase.
Lawson Elder
This
in
is
the lane 1.
18 of the
Smith in
finest
lane
Masters
2.
cars in the country right here. Teed up, and here comes Ronan back up the hill in the golf cart, so I'm going to have to help with a wheel change in a second here. They bring the drivers up in a cart and the cars up behind in another trailer. Well, we're here at the Invitational. We got a lot of spectators, and we're sitting up there waiting to go into round 4. There's 4 cars out of the 18 still in the first bracket, and Rona made it to that level here. He's going against his good friend Callie Elder from Kentucky. First time they've ever faced off, so kind of a unique moment for both kids there. They've known each other for years and meeting at Akron and so on. So it's going to be a fun race. Well, we made it through a couple of tough heats. It's a close one with our friends the Donovans from Pennsylvania. Ronan slipped by Liam on to round 3. We're sitting and waiting here. You kind of see the pit area, and you kind of go up the hill here, and then they're teeing them up at the top of this very steep start. And then the cars just come ripping out of the gates here, down the hill. And they're going about 35, I think, on this track. It's a short, fast track. It's a lot of fun, real driver's track. Anything but straight on this track. Case and Hayes in the gates, one of the best stock drivers in the country. Their family helped put this race together along with the local club here, and he's gonna go burn it up here, I'm sure.
Alright, here we go, get it.
Tight one against Lane Schlafke. There they go. Getting every bit of that crown. All right, you guys made it to the top 4, so what's your speed secrets? You're not giving any up, I know that, Kelly. Not till we're done. Good luck to both y'all, all right? We got our niece Bella here in the gates. She's been knocked to consolation, but she's trying to fight her way back. Brother-in-law David loading her and getting her all tucked in. They're pulling the little safety blocks that are on the gates here. And there's Joe
Loading up next, we have stock heat 18.
Joe Markowski pulling the gates, and here we go.
Lane 2.
There's our good friend Veronica Stagnaro from the Bay Area in California against Morgan Mojo Van Buren from New York. A couple of very stylish racers here. The up theme and the fighter plane theme. Racing late in the day here. This is about the last 6 or so cars still running out of 18.
Advantage of a 128.
A couple of our top stock drivers here still running. Getting ready to come down. We got a lot of leads here, but the cars seem to be going through them okay. Give them a go. Here we are at the end of the day. We're having an inspection of the winning cars. We had a tough loss to Stephanie Hicks here in the Cleveland area, Akron area, and it was a tough race. It was King, but she came back and beat him in the runoff. Did an awesome job. Let's take a look at the car, and that's the end of the racing here. Alright, well, we made it back from the Invitational. Managed to dodge the winter weather going all the way across the United States both ways. I think the logistics of this race, even by our standards, were extreme, but do it again in a heartbeat. Had a really great time. The overall trip was a lot of fun. What do you think of the Invitational, Ronan?
I thought it was a really good race. It was a fast track, which I like fast tracks. And the competition was super tough, and we gave it our best shot. We came out with 2 seconds. Not bad at all. And I like seeing all my friends who I haven't seen for a while, who live far away. That was really nice. Yeah, I had a really good time.
So did I. I really enjoyed visiting with our Derby family friends that we don't get a race with every day, and most all the family stayed at the host hotel, so that was cool. We got to visit in the evenings, do a little bit of bench racing and trade stories and jokes, and that was cool. Really awesome race. It was double elimination, lane and wheel swap, best field put together in years, on a bank of the best Derby wheels you could hope to race on. Big thanks to the Hayes and Stewart families and the whole Chattanooga club who put this thing together, and a special thanks to Paul Gale, who donated a lot of the wheel bank and some of the capital to make it happen. So it wouldn't have happened without Paul having that idea, getting behind it. We want to say congratulations to Stephanie Hicks, who won Masters, and Jenna Wolf, who won Round Bottom Masters. As Ronan mentioned, we took second in both of those. Just unbelievably outstanding racers. Those girls that really put us on our toes there. Also, congratulations to Carly Murphy in Super Stock and Lane Schlafke in Stock. They came out on top of, again, a couple just really tough fields in Stock and Super. Top 16 racers in each of those divisions. We had 18 in Masters. Takeaways for us, probably need to dial it up a little over the winter, do a little bit more work on our cars. We had some brake issues in our round bottom. We can't afford to do that on a fast track. Can't doubt the brakes. So we're going to get that dialed in before we race it again in Indianapolis. Looking at the setup of the winning Masters car, I noticed they're using an axle setup that's diametrically different than what we've got in our car and what we've been running for the last couple of years. So that's got me thinking, want to do a little bit of research and some testing over the winter here and see if there's something in there that we're missing. Maybe able to take our car to the next level. It was, those things are what, the champions always have to be working to get better and stay ahead of the competition. You can't sit still or you're going to get passed by your competitors. Mentioned in the opening segment the parallels at this invitational to the Masters Invitational in professional golf, and for those that are familiar with golf, the greatest golfer of all time is Jack Nicklaus, who has 18 major golf tournaments, a record that will probably not be broken anytime soon. A lot of people don't know that Nicklaus has another record, and that's for the most second places, and that's just tells me that he was always right there at the end duking it out, and if he wasn't first, he was right there with a chance to have it, and he got as many more seconds than anybody in addition to more firsts. We have a picture that my friend Kevin Boyd took, and to me it sort of is one of my favorite Derby pictures I've ever seen. It sums up the feeling of being in it at the end of the day and really just pouring your heart and soul into it. And it shows Waylon Hicks and myself launching Stephanie and Ronan, and both of us, you can just read the body language that we're both trying our darndest, and I think if we could blow hard, we were trying to blow and get those cars to go. But it's, to me, just being in there at the end and fighting it is what the sport's all about. So it was really cool event. So one of those. All right, well, that's it. Well, next episode we're gonna take a look at some activities around the shop. So we're finally going to get to working on some cars over the winter here, and that'll be in our next upcoming episode. So thank you for joining us.
See ya.